We may have completely misunderstood Mars. For more than 50 years, science believed the red planet was finished. A world trapped in permanent silence, a place where nothing important had changed for billions of years. Then NASA started seeing something nobody expected. It appears suddenly, then vanishes without warning. And somehow, it keeps coming back. Scientists have spent nearly 20 years trying to understand what they are seeing, but instead of answers, every new observation has only made the mystery worse, because whatever NASA keeps photographing on Mars should not exist there at all. For most of modern science, Mars seemed predictable billions of years ago. The planet looked very different. Rivers carved enormous valleys. Ancient lakes stretched across the surface. Entire regions may once have held oceans larger than the Mediterranean Sea. Then everything changed. Mars lost its magnetic field. Its atmosphere slowly escaped into space. Surface temperatures plunged to brutal extremes, and the planet entered what scientists believed was irreversible planetary death. Today, the atmosphere on Mars is more than 100 times thinner than the air you are breathing right now. Under normal Martian conditions, liquid water cannot remain stable on the surface for long. Volcanic activity faded billions of years ago, which led science to one simple conclusion. Mars had stopped changing. In every meaningful sense, the planet was dead. Or at least, that was the assumption humanity built everything on. In 2005, NASA launched a spacecraft that would quietly change how we understand Mars forever. It was called the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Orbiting high above the planet, it carried one of the most powerful cameras ever sent into deep space. Powerful enough to detect objects smaller than a kitchen table. For years, the camera kept watching, photograph after photograph, season after season. Then, the images started revealing something deeply unsettling. Certain parts of Mars were changing, not once, repeatedly. Something appeared where nothing had been visible before. Months later, it vanished. Then, the following year, it returned again in exactly the same place. Lujendra Ojha, a young researcher at the University of Arizona, immediately understood how strange this was. Researchers later described the discovery as completely unexpected, because according to everything science believed about Mars, the surface was never supposed to behave like this, and testing explanations only made things worse. At first, scientists assumed there had to be a simple explanation, because whatever NASA was observing, it was happening with impossible consistency. The same regions, the same timing, year after year. This was not random. Mars was repeating a process. At first, scientists thought liquid water had somehow returned to the Martian surface. The evidence looked promising. Orbital instruments detected unusual salts embedded in the surrounding soil. And these salts can allow water to remain liquid at extremely low temperatures. For a brief moment, scientists believed they had finally solved it. They believed they may have found evidence suggesting liquid water could briefly exist on Mars today. Then something happened. The physics ruined everything. The atmosphere on Mars is so thin that exposed water would rapidly evaporate or freeze. The explanation seemed perfect, and yet it should have been impossible. So researchers abandoned the water theory. They started over. Maybe it was simply dry dust moving downhill, a surface collapse. For a while, that explanation looked even better, until the data broke that theory too. The movement patterns were too precise, too seasonal, too consistent. And then came the worst contradiction. Some formations appeared in places where neither explanation should work. Too cold for liquid chemistry, too stable for dry surface collapse. Both explanations fit parts of the evidence. Neither explanation survived all of it. It was like finding fresh footprints in concrete, then realizing nobody could have been standing there. After nearly 20 years of observation, science is facing one uncomfortable possibility. No single explanation has fully accounted for every observation. Some discoveries begin with billion-dollar missions. This one began with a student staring at a screen. Lujendra Oha was only 21 when he noticed something strange hidden inside thousands of routine NASA images. He was not searching for a breakthrough. He was simply comparing photographs taken months apart. Then he noticed something impossible, a region that had changed when nothing on Mars was supposed to change anymore. Imagine realizing that what you are looking at may force science to question decades of certainty about an entire planet. More than 15 years later, scientists still do not know what process he discovered that day. Because sometimes the most unsettling moment in science is not making a discovery. It is discovering something reality should not allow to exist. And even now, the story is far from over. Future Mars missions may eventually investigate these regions more closely, but the real questions have only become harder. If liquid water is involved, where is it coming from? If this is simply dry surface movement, why does it repeat with such extraordinary precision? And if neither explanation survives the data, what process is Mars hiding that science still has not discovered? History has seen moments like this before. For decades, scientists insisted continents on Earth could never move. Then plate tectonics changed geology forever. What if Mars is forcing science toward another moment like that? We may have completely misunderstood Mars. For decades, humanity believed the planet was silent, finished, frozen in time. But even now, something on that distant world continues doing what science says it should never do. Maybe Mars is not teaching us something about the red planet. Maybe it is reminding us of something far more uncomfortable. The universe is under no obligation to behave the way we expect it to. And sometimes, the universe changes the moment we realize we were wrong.